Well, that's great, Mandy. Way to ruin your career. I'm Seth.
And I'm Drew.
And this is
Nerd Feeding the Nerd.
Hard subject change. I know you hate Chris Pratt. Yes, that's right, Internet. Drew hates Chris Pratt. Now hate on him for it.
Yeah.
There's this new movie on Netflix with that 11 from Stranger Things. What's her name?
Yeah.
Bobby, Millie, Bobby.
Bobby Brown.
Millie, Billy, Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob Thornton. Billy Bob Thornton, Bobby Brown.
It's called like Electric State or something like that. Have you seen the previews for it?
Remind me of it, because if it's a movie that looks like if there's like robots and stuff in it and it's futuristic and things.
Yep. Yes,
okay.
It is.
Yeah, I remember when that came out. It's not brand new, but I remember when it came out and people were like, this is what's wrong with Hollywood. It is absolute trash. It's awful. It's horrible.
Really?
Because because it's the source material that it came from. They completely bastardized what was going on with it, and it's like, I think Mr. Peanut is in the movie, and it's like Mr. Peanut's not in the freaking book, dude. Like that, Mr. Peanut isn't existing. Like, stop trying to. And it's clear that like the choices that they made were because obviously Mr. Peanut is like, we'll give you $10 million if we can put our person in there so that we can advertise nuts in your movie.
Planters.
And it's like, yeah, which
I was wondering about that. I was wondering why there were so many brands and stuff.
Yeah, it's because that's how they paid for the movie. And here's the thing. As a person that's in the know about Netflix, so when something is a Netflix original, that doesn't mean that Netflix paid anything for it. It means that they, dang it, dude, that they control it. And because here's the thing, I was a part of Mystery Science Theater 3000. I was a part of, all three of the new seasons. And the two that are Netflix originals, Netflix didn't give them a dime to
They're
make
just like
it
the
or
distributor.
produce it. Yeah, exactly. And the only thing that they bring to the table at the time is, we are the biggest streaming platform, so this will get more eyes on your stuff. And I understand that.
Yeah.
But in reality, as much as I hate what Amazon is doing to the world, in reality, they should have gone with Amazon Prime. Oh, come on. One more ring, dude.
Well, this is why I don't like to read reviews on shows and movies and stuff. Sometimes it's good because it saves you from watching trash, but I'll be honest, I wish I had finished it so I could speak to the entirety of the movie. I started Electric State, and I like it a lot.
Okay.
I think it's great. Aesthetically, I like it. I don't know anything about the source material. It actually reminds me of Ready Player One in a way.
Yeah, another
like,
thing that they ruined based off of the source material.
Oh, you didn't like the Ready Player One movie?
I like it a little bit,
just not as much as the book.
It is nothing like the book.
That's always.
I mean, yeah,
that's always the case, though. And even when the movie's good, so my example, this is an extreme example, but like my example of this is the It movies, the newer ones. Like I think they broke records. I'm pretty sure It, like part one, is still like the highest grossing horror movie of all time. And like,
it's good to know.
Beloved, people like it a lot. But yeah, not even close to the book. And it's not that they changed much. It's just that that book is just like it's just so like.
It's so much. It's thick.
The descriptions in that book are so like lush and just.
I mean, well, it's Stephen King, dude.
Rich, bro. I don't think anybody's ever done a good job of adapting a Stephen King novel the way I think they should. But at any rate, it's still a great movie, according to some. I still prefer the 90s miniseries.
Sure.
But that's just me. But
it's Tim Curry.
I think anything adapted from a book is never going to be as good.
Yeah.
I don't care. But
well,
and they do sometimes they do take like stupid liberties for no reason. I get that.
Hold on.
Give it to me.
What about the two best examples of adapted from books, the Harry Potter movies and Lord of the Rings?
Exceptions.
The Hobbit, no, because while they do have a lot of the similarities, to me, it should have just been 2 movies and not 3. Like they drug their feet when they didn't need to, and that kind of bums me out.
Yeah, I don't understand why they, if it ain't broke, don't fix it type thing. Like one thing about the Hobbit that I read.
Oh dang!
And I'm not even gonna look it up, dude. I'm just gonna throw lies out on the internet and see if people catch me. Potentially, I'm not doing it on. I'm not doing it on purpose. But this is just what I heard. This is just what I heard. I heard that unlike the original Lord of the Rings trilogy, they didn't use models in the Hobbit. They used they were heavy CGI, and the reason had something to do with like IMAX.
That makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense.
And so it lost a lot of that charm that the OG had because they modeled a lot of stuff instead of just using CGI. They obviously use CGI as well, but like Minas Tirith and stuff was a model. You know what I mean? And it just looks great. That's why that movie is great. I'm sure it had its other flaws, but that was one thing that turned me off about it. I'm just like, ew. You know, my disdain for heavy CGI.
Oh God, dude.
What are we trying to do here? Okay.
I'm trying to get in that the one ring that I keep clipping and taking coins off of the outside. I need to get into the center of it. And I've corrected each time. But it's just a skosh too high or a skosh too low.
Shadow Wizard in the house. Shadow Wizard says, "Good morning, everyone," with a sun. You know what that reminds me of? Shadow Wizard in the... Speaking of movies people hate. Good morning, Star Child. The Earth
says hello.
Yeah, that's what that reminds me of. Willy Wonka. By the way, I'm calling it right now. My Halloween costume... I remember seeing The Sorcerer's Stone in theaters. Yeah, we are all that old, Shadow Wizard. Join the club. I love it. Yeah,
the club.
I did too. It was freaking great, man. I remember reading Sorcerer's Stone in like, was I in 4th grade or 5th grade? I was in the advanced reading class.
Yes, dude.
So, dang it. What was I going to say, though? I had something, and I lost it. It's gone forever, I think. Oh.
That's my fault.
No, it's no. For Halloween, tell me if this is good, Shadow Wizard. For Halloween, I've decided I'm going to be the Gene Wilder Willy Wonka.
Of course.
And
of course.
Why not, dude? Who doesn't?
Yeah, no.
Who doesn't want a Gene Wilder Willy Wonka costume? Just
I mean, I don't. even though I like the color scheme. You know what I mean? Like, I'm okay with the son of a bitch.
I think you like that movie. You don't love that movie. Am I right?
No, I love. I love the movie, but I'm not. That's just Jesus.
That's my Willy Wonka. I mean, I thought Johnny Depp was fine or whatever, but it was a totally different vibe, and I didn't.
Sure.
I didn't dig it as much.
I like that movie. I love Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
That's another thing, dude. We were talking earlier about how I just get these impulses to purchase things based on things we talk about. Shadow Wizard says, "Sounds perfect. Thank you for the validation, Shadow Wizard. I'm ordering my costume right now just because you said that." No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I might change my mind.
You'll change your mind like 20,000 times, dude.
Oh.
You son of a...
So I was Shadow Wizard. I was Darth Vader last year. And I really thought that owning a Darth Vader costume is like a lifelong goal of mine. I really thought it was going to change my life. No, it didn't change my life at all. It didn't. No. It really didn't. It's cool to have, but it didn't change my life, you know? And that's the thing, man. That's the thing about consumerism, y'all. You're like, if I can just get that copy of Nintendo Power for Super Mario 64, then I'll feel complete. Then I'll feel something. No, you won't.
Seriously, dude.
No. Sorry.
Be free, my child.
I love this. I love that. I love this for you. Oh, and he broke it out.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's one of the it's like the only glitch in this game I know. I don't know how to do it, but I do know like there's like a glitch that you can get past that. past that
Yeah.
gate, if you will.
To
But
those of you watching, this is not a speed run. This is not a glitchy run. This is a step back into the world of yesteryear. Honestly, it's just Seth hasn't seen like, I'd probably say he hasn't seen like 90% of this game, and I have played it countless times. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine.
we are
So we're playing it for real, for real.
we're on a journey. We're on a love walk, if you will.
A walk to remember?
Dude, hold that thought. Shadow Wizard says this is a relaxed run. That's right. That is exactly, that is the vibe that we're going for. A walk to remember, dude.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Mandy Moore? Are you kidding me?
Fell into that trap, dude.
Are you kidding me?
See, I prefer the Rapunzel Mandy Moore, because I like Tangled.
I'm glad she's still around, man. I'm glad she's doing stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
she was the wholesome pop star during that era of, you know, like Christina Aguilera and stuff. And when Christina Aguilera was being, you know, putting out songs like the hit Dirty, Mandy Moore was in A Walk to Remember, and it was, you know, wholesome and whatnot.
A Walk to Remember was like our version of Fault in Their Stars or whatever. You know, like there's always that like feel good movie that hits, you know, at that point in people's lives, and it's just, I'm okay for it. You know, I'm here for it.
You know, again, like that was my distorted view.
Sweet.
Movies like A Walk to Remember are why I'm damaged when it comes to love, because I grew up thinking that's how love is. You know, you fall in love with the nerdy girl in class, find out that she has terminal illness, and she dies after you marry her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get in trouble because you race your Camaro and crash it because your friends were jumping into a quarry and a kid gets hurt. You know, I don't know. You know, that's just what I thought life was going to be like, and then it wasn't. And it all comes back to Mandy Moore.
Well, yeah, because Mandy Moore is a guiding force. Okay, to the top of the fortress, got it. She's a guiding light, dude.
She really is.
And you know I don't know, man. Like just the enjoyment that you get from seeing people like her.
I'm looking up what is Mandy Moore up to. She looks great. Okay,
I think
she looks great to this day.
She's doing something. I don't think she's doing much music anymore, but I know she's doing like shows and things.
She was in the Princess Diaries. I don't remember that. That was before A Walk to Remember, though, when she really blew up. So
yeah, she's probably like a part of a gaggle of gals, you know.
Okay, so people also ask, why does Mandy Moore not sing anymore? Let's see what the internet has to say. Mandy said during an interview with Billboard magazine, all of the music has started to look and sound the same.
Yeah.
And that she chose to move in a different musical direction. Moore said that she wanted to feature more live instruments when performing, saying she wanted no more dancers, no more singing to tracks. Well, that's great, Mandy. Way to ruin your career.
I mean, yeah, but respect, dude. Like, the thing is though, like with her, stupid freaking board. Dang it. With her, like, I get it, dude. She was a part of that pre-packaged poppy, you know, like, yeah. I think she wanted to be more creative, and they wouldn't let her because it's like, well, but you're America's sweetheart. You're supposed to sing songs about bubblegum and lollipops and kitten farts, you know, like.
The sad part is I can't remember a single Mandy Moore song, like, right off the top of my head.
Yeah, now that you put me on the spot, shoot into the wild blue.
All right, one more Mandy Moore thing. This is funny. This is why I love, like, the internet sometimes, and it reminds me of the old internet, sort of, without AI.
Okay.
But you know, you search Mandy Moore, what comes up? But discussion boards, and what is the all-seeing, all-knowing truth of the world? Reddit. Someone posted on Reddit, Mandy Moore is a bad actress. Here, I said it. 8 months ago.
Sure. I mean, okay, but there's I mean, people said the same thing about Keanu Reeves back in the day. They're just like, he's the worst actor ever, and now people just like love him to death.
Yeah.
So
she's gonna get her flowers someday, for her performances. Pull up a damn. Dude, somebody said, I swear this has to be rage bait.
what? In what way?
This woman played her character at multiple ages during the entire run of this show. Oh, they're talking about like a specific show that I'm not hip to or whatever.
Oh,
Let's move on from Mandy Moore, because that's a rabbit hole I don't know if we'll ever come back from. I don't know if we can survive Mandy. I don't know if she might ruin us with her wholesomeness, and I don't think either one of us are wholesome enough to handle Mandy. Let's get into a couple of Super Mario 64 facts that perhaps I didn't know. Sorry, I had to.
I was like, just lay it on me. Don't leave me waiting.
Come on, pick it up. Well, all right. Couple fun facts. Game Rankings rates this 96. Metacritic rates this 94 out of 100.
It's good, dude. I mean, there are some struggle bus moments though, and we will get into those. We will see those. It'll happen. But it'll be all right.
There's a list of awards. I'm not going to read them all, but they did. I mean, they won. Whoa!
Are you ringing?
I'm ringing. Doesn't matter though. What matters is I have poor live stream etiquette.
Yeah, you do.
That's fine. They won every single one of these awards. I'm trying to see if there's any like
Good.
really. I mean, best looking game, that was a 97. Best Nintendo 64 game, official Nintendo magazine. Okay, Nintendo, like.
No, Ocarina of Time is the best
You won.
Nintendo 64 game.
You have your own magazine and you choose the winners of your own awards. Like, get out of here.
Why isn't the star there?
Yeah, dude. I don't know.
That was the corner that I had to break.
Not a lot to reference here. But what I will say, I was just curious, like when this actually came out.
There it is.
It looks like it came out June of '96 in Japan.
Okay.
North America, it came out later that year in September of '96. September of '96. When did the Nintendo 64 come out? Oh,
Probably same time, right?
Yeah.
Because this was the game that like this was the starting game
at launch. Yeah, September 29th, 1996. Let's play. How old was I? I was 7. I was 7. Seven. Yeah, I was 7 years. 7 years young.
Yold. 7 years old. Let's go.
Shadow Wizard. Didn't Metacritic give Ocarina of Time a 99 out of 100?
Yes.
Yes.
It is there to them. It is the greatest game of all time, and I agree with them. Actually, 100%. It's my favorite game. Period.
We've talked about playing it, and we perhaps will.
All I'm waiting for is that damn analog HD.
Oh, yeah, so you can play the actual cart.
Yes, because I have the actual cartridge, and I also have the Master Mode cartridge, which, the fan-made thing. But, and I really want to test myself with that. You know what I mean? That's kind of the direction that I want to go, because it's just so good, dude. It's so freaking good.
Yeah. So good, so clean.
So fresh and so clean.
You know, this is the point in the show where we, get all existential and talk trash about the current, like, not state of the world, but do you ever sit around and think about like things like, okay, the Nintendo 64 as example, or maybe a bad example. Movies are a better example. Like they keep remaking stuff. Games are a good example too. Like they want to remaster games and like modernize them and stuff. And sometimes it's great, but most of the time it's like why do you think that we and are out of ideas creatively
Yeah.
in Hollywood and games, and you know what I mean? Like 96, like what a time to be alive. You know, like things were getting made, things were created.
Babies were getting made, dude.
Like I'll give you some examples of some movies. Like 96, okay, so we had Ocarina of Time. I think Ocarina came out in 97 though. It doesn't matter.
Sure.
But in that sort of era, dude, you had all right, striking out instantly. No, those are not the movies I would have chose. Scrambling.
Was it like the Pianist or something? Red Coins.
No, the Pianist.
Floating
Pianist was definitely early 2000s. You didn't like the Pianist? I freaking love that movie, dude.
No. I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like that's not a movie that I would say like, oh, it's my favorite. It's so good. You know, like whatever came out that year that was of the sci-fi or fantasy or whatever variety is what I would, you know, I'd be like, no, I want that. I don't want the English Patient. I don't want, you know, any of that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like I don't want the artsy fartsy thing.
Yeah.
I respect them. I appreciate them. But, you know, it's just different, dude.
I pulled up a pretty good list of movies made in 96, but I want to read this. Shadow Wizard. It's crazy that the SNES and the Sega Genesis came out around the same time, and the SNES sold almost 20 million more copies. I mean, yeah.
Could have been a price point thing.
What's the Sega more?
Maybe.
I mean, why not ask the internet? Was the Genesis more expensive than the SNES? Let's see. Let's see what the internet says. No, the Sega Genesis was generally less expensive than the Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
Huh.
In the 16-bit console war, the Genesis had a significant price advantage, often costing around Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, often costing around $100 less at launch than the SNES. That's interesting.
And $100, dude. That's in 90s money. That's like $300.
Dude, I mean, $100 is, dude. Yeah, $100 off. I would consider. I don't know, dude. Like, would you buy an Xbox just because it was $100 less than the PlayStation? See,
no,
and that's what.
But that's different because I'm already so immersed in that cult of PlayStations.
Yeah.
So it is a little different.
Remind me, we'll talk about that in a second. There's a game that I really can't wait for that's coming out next year. It'll probably disappoint me, but whatever. Back to these movies. What are your top 10 movies of 96? I mean, this is a pretty good, like, okay, The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah, okay, all right. Not my favorite Disney movie, but I'll put some respect on its name.
I think it's kind of a sleeper. Twister, dude. Bill Paxton? Get the F out of here. That's a great movie. I just recently rewatched that. I refuse to watch Twisters, by the way. Won't do it.
Yeah, I haven't.
Can't do it. Don't want to do it.
Either.
I still have
Don't make me.
I still have my SNES. It's over 30 years old. LOL. Love that. I also have Switch Online, but I only play SNES games with a SNES controller. Dude, I knew we were going to be best friends, Shadow Wizard. I knew it. I feel the same way, brother.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. You got to like, you know, it's cool, it's modern. I'll give, you know, I don't know. I don't love this modern world always, but I do like stuff like that. I will take the modernization of old games on Switch Online, but give me that retro controller, baby. Give it to me. My only gripe with the SNES controller for the Switch is that it only comes it's a single controller, whereas with the NES they came as a pair, and that kind of made me mad because they're not exactly cheap. But,
well, yeah, of course not.
But yeah, I will only play Switch Online retro with the actual controller, and that's freaking cool. I don't have the N64 controller or the Genesis one. I need to get them.
Oh no,
but,
no.
Pull up a damn. Yeah, dude.
I shouldn't have.
Twisters. I just rewatched it. Great movie. The Rock, dude. Sean Connery.
Oh heck yeah, dude.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
It's an elegant strand of pearls configuration.
Rapid Fire. Independence Day. Happy Gilmore. Mission Impossible came out in 96. Wow.
Dude, so good.
That is. The first two, and maybe even the third one. I think the third.
I like all of them in their own respect. You know what I mean? Like one is great. 2, I know it's bad, but I still love it.
I think 3 is where Limp Bizkit got involved on the soundtrack.
That was 2.
Oh, okay. You're gonna love this. Mars Attacks.
Yes.
Came out in '96.
Do you see that, dude? Do you see that? We got 100 coins. We get a star just for hunting down 100 coins.
100.
And the best part is we get to stay and we get to find another star. We double starring it, dude.
Dude, you get to double dip.
Double dip. Boy, Seth, we sure had fun today, didn't we? So long, folks. Come on, Seth, say goodbye.
Where are we going?
The show's over. See you next time.
Next time? When is that?
Pretty soon. Don't worry.
Pretty soon? But how long is that?
In a little while, man.
But what am I gonna do till then?
You can hit the subscribe button so you can stick around for more content, or feel free to watch some of our past stuff.
Don't forget to come back soon.
Because we'll be waiting here on
Nerd Bleeding the Nerd. What? Nerd Bleeding the Nerd.